Good morning, student. Welcome to the live session of History, Class 7, Akbar. Children, we have done the part 1 of the lesson. Let's do the second part of the lesson. We'll turn our pages to 84. Provisional Administration. Akbar was the sovereign of a vast empire. In order to run it efficiently, it was divided into 15 provisions. Each province was under a subedar or a governor. He was the civil and military head. The Diwan kept the record for land and revenue collection. All other officers were same as the central administration and were responsible for the same function in their province. Provinces were further divided into many sarkar or districts. Sarkars were subdivided into small unit parganas. Each parganas had many villages under it, which was looked after by a village panchayat. Officers provided assistance to the panchayat and did not interfere with the working of village. Mansabdari system. Mansab means rank or Arabic in Arabic. Akbar started the system of Mansabari where each officer, civil and military, was given a rank of Mansab and was called Mansabdar. Administration and military were the two pillars of the Mughal Empire. It was important to keep both disciplined and, and efficient. All nobles held Mansaba. They were given as Jagir. The fixed amount of revenue was collected for them from the allotted Jagir and handed over for themselves and their troops. Mansab were appointed and dismissed by the king. Mansab could be increased by king, decreased or increased by king. Mansab represented a personal rank, Zat, and a cavalry rank, Sawar. An officer with more sawars under him were given a high salary. The lowest rank holder was given 10 sawars. The main purpose of the Zat was to put people in an order of hierarchy. The post of Mansabar was not hereditary. Another important feature of Mansabari was confiscation of personal property of a Mansabar upon his death. Zapti, the property was transferred to the king. Revenue system. The primary source of income for the state was land revenue. Akbar introduced many reforms in the revenue management to make it more efficient. He was assisted by Todurmal, who was the revenue minister. The new system was popularly known as Todurmal's Bandobast. The main feature were standardizing the measurement of land. Those days a rope was used to measure land, but due to seasonal change, the rope would become stronger or longer due to dryness or moisture, and there was vagueness in measurement. Akbar introduced a new measuring device where bamboo rods were linked with iron rings for correct measurement. The land was categorized into four segments depending on frequency of cultivation. A comparative estimate of the produce of each type of land was made and the revenue was fixed. The land was further divided into good, middle, or bad. Average produce of the last 10 years for these lands were taken per bika. It was called Mansool. One third of the Mansool was the state's share. The peasants were allowed to pay either in cash or in kind. Remuneration was given to peasants in case of drought or even crops failed. The economy was strong. Other sources of income for the state were trade and commerce. A very low custom duty was charged to encourage trade with other countries. Akbar also experimented with coins and issued coins with decorative designs. Next, children, page number 86, religious policies. Akbar had a broader view of religion. He was brought up in a liberal atmosphere and was influenced by teachings of universal peace and harmony of Bhakti saints and Sufi peers. This policy of religion tolerance and a wish to create harmony between Hindus and Muslims made him a popular king, especially among the Hindus and Rajput. His main reforms toward religious policies were: he abolished the practice of converting prisoners of war to Islam. He abolished pilgrimage tax on Hindus, pilgrim, pilgrims visiting their holy shrines. He removed a much hated tax of jizya levied on non Muslim subjects. He gradually allowed Hindus to build temples and celebrate their festival. He allowed his Rajput wives to install and worship the idol and the deity in his fort. To show respect for Hindus, he forbade use of beef in the royal kitchen. He was the first king to offer the highest post to deserving Hindu like Todarmal, Raja Man Singh, Raja Bhagwan Das, and Birbal. Out of his 12 divans, 8 were Hindus. He got the Veda, Ramayana, Mahabharata, and Gita translated into Persia. In AD 1559, the Alms issued a decree of infallibility which allowed him the freedom of interpretation of Islamic laws. Akbar got a hall of prayers of Ibadat Khana built in his palace at Fatehpur Sikri. He opened it to all faith. Scholars, visitors, priests, and religious leaders were invited to hold debates and discussion on matters relating to religion. People from different religions were encouraged to assemble and explain the main principles and teaching of the respective religion. Dil-e-Ilahi. Akbar was deeply influenced by Sufism and other religion. He felt a need for harmony with each other or peace with all religions. This was the concept behind his Sul-e-Kul or peace with all. Sulakul or peace with all. He wanted to create harmony between followers of different faith and formed a new religion ordered Deen-e-Ilahi or divine faith. It was a combination of different religious ideas. It was a new way of life. It was based on certain principle. God is one and he is great. Akbar was God's representative on earth. Every member should vow to do good to everyone. There were no scripture or place of worship. Sun and fire could be worshipped. All religion should be represented by everyone. Akbar laid the foundation to promote acceptability and universal brotherhood, but there was not many takers for his new religion. The Orthodox Hindus and Muslims alike rejected it completely. It did not flourish and died with Akbar. Akbar Rajput policy. Akbar wished to rule over entire India. He realized the importance of subjugation, support of Rajput to fulfill his dream. He was very impressed with their bravery, fighting skill, and honor and tried to win their support as much as possible. He used matrimonial alliances with important kings to win their loyalty and cooperation. He married several Rajput princes. The chief among them was the daughter of the king of Amber. She was also the mother of Prince Jahangir, who ascended the throne after Akbar's death. He gave important posts to the Rajput. Raja Man Singh was made a military commander. He treated them with trust and honor and received it from them in return. He abolished pilgrimage tax and jizya. He he treated the Rajput king who lost to him in war with respect and returned the kingdoms to them in return of acceptance of his suzerainty and payments of annual tribute to him. These measures earned him goodwill from his enemies and allies alike and also stabilized his empire. So children, till here we are going to conclude this session. We will meet in the next session of our history lesson Akbar. Thank you children for your cooperation.